Well, hello, happy Tuesday. And today we are prepping green beans for the canner. I'm going to kind of demystify the prep work behind canning a little bit for you who are new to canning, you beginners. This is basically a video for you. I don't want you guys to be scared or intimidated by the prep work that goes into canning. And I know I never really filmed this part. Not many people do. It's not really exciting or, you know, fun to watch, but it is very important. So, really quickly, I have a half of a bushel of green beans here that I am going to prep for the canner. And so what I use is I use a colander for all the little snipped pieces or any kind of beans that I don't feel I want to can. And then a nice big giant bowl like that for the green beans. Now many people, this is just how I do it. You know, you do green beans the way you want to do it. Many have asked how I do it. They said, Heather, I have my green beans, now what? Like, how do I get them from this point in the box into my canner? So I'm gonna show you what I do. So I use a pair of kitchen shears. Now I have really bad arthritis in my hands. I also have really bad carpal tunnel. And so I just find it easier to do it this way. You can snip it by hand. Some people like to use a knife. You do whatever's comfortable for you. I do not pre-wash my green beans, okay? I just take them right out of the box and I snip the ends, whether it has a stem on it or whether it doesn't. I snip off the end, and then I cut my green beans into about 1.5 inch pieces, 1 inch pieces, whatever size you want. You can make them big or small, whatever you like. And this is basically what I do, and it's super easy. And you can sit on a stool, you can sit at your kitchen table and do it. You can, heck, I even sometimes grab the bowl and go sit in the living room and talk to my husband and do it there. So wherever you're comfortable. Anything that I see that I don't really like the looks of and I don't really want to can, I just simply throw in there. And this won't go to waste. I will take this out and feed these to my chickens and they will love them. So this is it. This is all there is to it. Snipping off the ends, cutting them into the bite-sized pieces that I want. You can leave them long too. Sometimes I can them long. And so yeah, any kind of green bean that I'm looking at and I'm like, yeah, I don't really like the look of that one. Now these green beans have been sitting in my fridge a little too long, and some of them are a little semi-frozen, so I need to get them in the canner. And I can't put it off anymore. So we're gonna do them today. So I'm gonna just keep going on and cutting these up, and when I am all done with this, I will bring you guys back and I will show you the next step in how I prep my green beans for canning. All right, so now that we have our bowl of green beans all picked through and cut up, I'm going to go ahead and lock down my sink, and I'm going to run the cold water. And then I'm just going to go ahead and fill up my sink here with cold water, and then I'm going to go ahead and dump my beans right in the sink. Make sure your sink's clean. But this is where I initially wash my green beans. So I'm going to just let this fill up with cold water and let those soak. And then what I do from there is I will get a large colander, transfer them over and onto the other side, put them in the colander, give them a good wash. I just kind of let them soak in here, and a lot of that debris, any kind of debris, will come off in this part of the sink, and then I can go ahead and wash them and rinse them really well in a colander. And then they are good to go, you guys. We are going to be ready to can these up. I do not blanch my green beans. You can. They say that they retain their color. They become more vivid if you do that. I have never had a problem with my green beans. I like to raw pack them. For me, when I blanch them and then I can them, for me they end up being a little too soft. So I like a little bit of a firmer bean in my jar. So I just raw pack mine. So, and this is what I do. So I'm gonna just fill up the sink. Just kind of agitate those around a little bit, and all of the dirt or debris, any kind of leaves or anything like that, although most of it's, you know, all been picked out, most of it will just fall right to the bottom. And then I will just hand pick these up, put them in a strainer, and give them a really good rinse. And that's about it, you guys. All right, so I hope that was helpful. And of course, you know, some of you will probably look at this video and say, hey, you know, I mean, come on, this is like common sense things. But if you have never canned before, if you've never prepared green beans before, if you grew up like I did, and, you know, the only green bean I ever had as a kid came out of a can from Del Monte, you know, my mom never prepared fresh green beans. My mom never had a garden. So this was all new for me, and it was intimidating when I first started learning. And, you know, if you're not raised doing this, then you don't know. So this video isn't for the people that know. This video is for the people who don't know, and who are out there like I was, and, you know, needed a little help. So I hope you found this video helpful. I am going to go ahead and can these green beans up, and I do have videos on that. I might make a short video on that. I don't know. It's getting close to dinner time though, so I'm going to be multitasking here. So I was going to end the video, but instead I'm just going to roll with it, and we're just going to do a quick canning session. Midday, right before dinner. Let's get it done. All right, so these have been soaking now for a while. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run my water. Now I like cool water, not super cold, cool water. And I like to kind of get them through my hands so that I can inspect every bean and make sure that it's nice and clean. And get it right into the colander. And I usually grab enough for a jar, about a jar, give or take. And I like to jar up one jar at a time. Again, probably basic info for you canning queens and kings out there, but this is for the newbies. Okay. So, nice rinse. And you're going to hear in the background my kettle going. So I'm going to top this off with some boiling water. I'm just going to give that a quick shake. Put this on a towel. There's our clean beans, okay? And then let's come on over here. And how can I do this where you guys can see? This is the tricky part of filming. All right, there we go. So you can use canning salt for this. You can use sea salt. You just don't want to use table salt because table salt will make your jars cloudy. Okay, now grab my salt. I'm using canning salt. Okay, so I'm going to add about a quarter of a, not even a quarter teaspoon, little less than a quarter of a teaspoon. And then to that I'm going to add a half a teaspoon of minced dehydrated onion. Okay, so this is what I'm using. See if I can get that to focus. There we go. So some minced dehydrated onion. And I'm also going to be adding a half a teaspoon of black peppercorns. I love peppercorns in my green beans. It just makes them pop with flavor. So, okay, there we go. So once I have that, we're going to go ahead and we are going to start adding in our beans. Now I do have a Pokey Joe. By the way, if you guys are not subscribed to Mouse Toes here on YouTube, I'm going to link her video up above. She just did a beginner video for sweet potatoes. That was excellent. But she is one of my favorite YouTubers. She's so much fun. And, you know, when something seems hard, I just go watch Mouse Toes and she just tells me it ain't hard. It's just canning. And because sometimes, you know, especially if you've never canned something before, things can be a little intimidating. And that's why I'm making these videos, because I was there once. Heck, sometimes I'm still there. So I get it. You are not alone. It's just canning. And this is supposed to be fun. So now I'm going to fill this to 1 inch headspace. Okay, and you hear my kettle is boiled. Alright. 1 inch headspace here. Okay, so now that I've got that pretty packed in there, pretty tight, I'm going to go ahead and get my kettle here. And I'm going to fill this to about 1 inch headspace. Now we're going to debubble this, so that headspace might need to be corrected. So we're going to take our Pokey Joe, we're going to slide it down the sides here. Now when you're raw packing, you really want to make sure these beans are in here tight. Otherwise you will get a lot of floating, which, you know, I don't really want. So, but I like the texture a lot better on beans that I raw pack. They just are a little firmer. Okay, so all the way around the edge, down in the center, as many air pockets out as you can. Then sometimes you can pack in some more beans. Get it really in there. And that's a nice 1 inch headspace. I'm going to go ahead and get a napkin here. And I'm dipping my napkin in vinegar. And we are going to wipe the rims here. And then we're going to put a lid on this that's been soaked in hot water, so the compound is a little softened. And a nice clean ring, fingertip tight. And there you have it. Look at that. Beautiful, right? All right, so in the canner it goes. And then I'm going to go ahead and rinse off some more beans here. And then we're going to go ahead and fill this up. Oops, I forgot to add our ingredients. Okay, so let's add a half a teaspoon of canning salt and peppercorns and some minced onion. There we go. And of course you can leave all that out. You don't have to do any of that. That's just simply for flavor. I don't like to put a lot of seasonings in anything that I pressure can, because pressure canning can really intensify seasonings, any kind of herbs, which is why I like the peppercorns in here, because they do get a little intense and they do infuse those green beans, and they're really good. So see if we can't get this nice and packed. You hear my tea kettle going. Pack this nice and tight, 1 inch headspace. Now I have 7 jars ready, but I might only get 3, maybe 4 jars of beans, but that's okay, because 3, or like Mouse Toe says, 3 or 4 jars in the pantry is better than no jars. And so I'm going to fill this up to 1 inch headspace. Okay, go ahead and debubble this. those air pockets out. All the way around. Get in the center. Uh-oh, doggy has to go outside. All right. Okay, and once you debubble, sometimes you can pack a couple more in there. Get a couple more in there. And I'm gonna top it off a little bit. Make sure it's 1 inch. Okay. And then vinegar. Wipe those tops. Lid. Ring. Fingertip tight. And in the canner it goes. All right, I'm gonna keep going. I'll let you know how many jars I end up with. And get this going, guys. So I was able to get in here 5 quarts. And I decided to do 2 little pints just to get some pints, extra pints. I love pints because I can crack a jar open and add it to like chicken pot pie or anything like that. I like the little pints. So there we have it, a full canner. I'm gonna go ahead and put my lid on now. All right, we're gonna lock this down. I have an All-American 921 canner. We're gonna lock this down. I'm gonna turn it on the heat. We're gonna vent it, steam it for 10 minutes out of the petcock there. A nice steady stream. And then we're going to put the weight on it. I can it 10 pounds of pressure because I live in Michigan, and then I'm gonna bring this up to pressure, which will be 240 degrees, roughly 10 pounds, 11 pounds is where like my canner likes to run. And then we are gonna process these for quart times, even though we do have a mixed batch in there, we're going to do it for quarts. And quarts, the timing for quarts is 25 minutes. So once these are done, I will turn it off the heat, let it come off of pressure. I'm going to let this come off of pressure. I'm going to take off the weight, let my canner sit for about 10 minutes. Then we are going to crack it open and bring out these jars. And when I get to that part, I will bring you back because it is now 6:30 and I got to get ready for dinner. So I will see you guys after dinner when we pull these beauties out of the canner. It smells so good. I love canning green beans because it just smells so good. And I'm sorry if the lighting is not good. Let me see if I can plug in another cabinet light here for you. And excuse my my dishwasher going. It is dinner cleanup time here, so here we go. And you know, I'm just a mom. Filming as I go. There we go. Look at that. And our 2 little pints. And same thing, now I did a video, oh, it's gonna get uploaded tonight, so I'm gonna say I did a video already. I'm gonna leave a link up above on how I clean my jars when they're fully cooled down. Now it is 8:30 at night. There it is, the pops. These will settle to the bottom. I got to near the end and I couldn't pack this one as tightly as I would have wanted, but that's okay. When these cool, they'll settle down. They'll be fine. I will leave these sit overnight, and sometime tomorrow I will check them all, take off the bands, give them the good hot soapy wash, dry them off, get them labeled, get them up into my pantry. I will leave the link, like I said, to the video where I show how I did that with my pickles. I do that after every canning session. I let them sit and cool about, well, you know, 12 to 24 hours. You just want the jars to cool down. and then you're good to go. You want them to be able to cool and set and all of that. But there they are. And they look beautiful. Headspace is beautiful on all of them. And I am really happy. And so this will be another 7 jars of food on my pantry shelves. So really happy. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was helpful. I hope it inspires you to give canning green beans a try. If you have any questions, leave them down below. I will try my very best to get to them. Beautiful sound of the pings. Alright guys, have a good night, and I will be seeing you soon. I've got several other canning videos that I want to do on my list, so have no doubt I will be seeing you guys soon, and I hope you guys have a great night. Alright, bye guys.